We are visiting churches, mostly. Yardenit is not a church, so it's okay, but I think all the other sites, Nazareth and all the other Sea of Galilee churches, they ask to dress modest. I didn't see. In the north of Israel, divide to Upper Galilee and Lower Galilee. 6th century, destroyed at the beginning of the Muslim period. Some of them never rebuilt, some of them rebuilt in the Crusader period, the 12th century, such as
inside of Basilica of Annunciation. Kinurb-curb. Oo nga, Diyos mio. Saan nila nakuha itong mga stone na to?
In-excavate nila.
In-excavate nila. Tapos,
Ginawa nakuha nila.
oh yeah. Oh, gee. Ganda.
Okay guys, so welcome to Capernaum found a home, okay? And if we look, you see over there and behind this over there, you can see that the local stone here is black, okay? Again, it's basalt. If we look over there, we see behind us the Golan Heights.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 million years ago, it was like a lot of volcanic activity, and all the lava that floated over the surface covered it, and we got the black stones, the basalt. So most of the buildings of this village were made out of the basalt. Probably they were covered with some plaster, okay, because here in this very hot place, the black color get heat much more, so they try to make it a little bit cooler. They used, like, very thick walls, okay? In this way they could keep the temperature much cooler inside. actually imported from maybe from the Galilee or somewhere else, not from here, because here everything made out of basalt. Okay, if we look over there, we see a big building that's made out of limestone, white stone. Okay, this is the Synagogue of Capernaum, Nazareth, and his interpretation was something that the people of Nazareth didn't like that much. So they asked him, some people, or let's say they pushed him out of Nazareth, and they said, "You are not welcome here anymore." So he started to look for other places, and then he came to the Galilee, and he started to meet the disciples and so on. One of them is Peter, Saint Peter, who lived here in Kfar Nahum. Okay, so back to the time of Jesus, Second Temple period, the synagogue was not exactly what we see here. The limestone is later, from the Byzantine period, okay, or Roman period, maybe a little bit before. But if you will look later, we will get there, you will see that the foundation of this synagogue made out of the basalt stone. Okay, so these are actually two synagogues. That we can see that the building goes when it's point to the south, in this case to Jerusalem. Okay, now synagogues at the time of the Second Temple period, the time of Jesus, were not pointed to Jerusalem at all. Okay, why? Because there were not prayers like today. Okay, synagogue at the time of the temple were mostly to study, to learn the Torah, and to do, for the whole community to get together. But the winter time, when it's not that hot, I like to do something nice in the synagogue to give the feeling of how it feels in the synagogue. I said before, I'm Jewish. I grew up in an Orthodox Jewish community, and we had ושמרתם ועשיתם אותם ושמר אדוני אלוהיך לך את הברית ואת החסד אשר נשבע לאבותיך ואהבך וברכך והרבך וברך פרי בטנך ופרי אדמתך דרנך ותירושך וישריך שרר אלפיך ועשתרות צונך על האדמה אשר נשבע לאבותיך לתת לך ברוך תהיה מכל העמים אויביך חרבה חרה ובדמתך והסיר אדוני ממך כל חולי וכל מדווי מצרים הרעים אשר ידעת לא ישימם בך ונתנם וכל שונאיך ואכלת את כל העמים אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך לא תחוס עיניך עליהם ולא תעבוד את אלוהים כי מוקש הוא לך. Round, or maybe actually made out of 8
This is Peter's house.
octagonal building. So you could see that maybe this is how Peter's house was look like. So actually wrong. Okay, you can see that this kind of round or 8 octagonal buildings are built on top of a square house. Okay, like we see here. All of these areas, this is houses of okay. So we don't have just a regular house. What we see here is the remains of a Byzantine church. Okay, that was the style of Byzantine architecture of holy places to build 8 walls around.
We had lunch at this restaurant before we go to River of Jordan.
Masarap ng olives.
You want to move the rooms further down here? There's no space. Yeah, or could I put it on the chair? If nobody wants it.
Alright.
River of Jordan.
Some of the villages that we see here are very, very old, like biblical time or Crusader period. Okay, totally different landscape, let's say, with a lot of forest. 7 springs. Okay, Hepta 7 Pagon springs. In the 7th century, we get into the Muslim period, and most of the locals start to speak Arabic. So Hepta Pagon lose its meaning, and they feel like they're in hot dish. So you can see what happened. Pagon came to be Tabgha. Okay, so there were 7 springs around here. We will see later a miracle made by Jesus, and you can see what we see here inspired from the mosaic of the church that we're going to see from the Byzantine period, and one of the most famous Christian icons of the Holy Land. Okay?
Okay.
And this is what we're going to see now. Anyway, this church them to eat, and Jesus asked, how many loaves do you have? Go and see. When they found out, they said 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Then Jesus directed them to have all the people sit down in groups on the green grass. So they sat down in groups of 150, taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to his disciples to distribute to the people. He also divided the 2 fish among them all. They all ate and were satisfied. And the disciple picked up 12 baskets full of broken pieces of bread and fish. the number of the men who had eaten was 5,000. Okay?
Oh, wow.
This is one of the most famous miracles of Jesus. Traditionally happened here anyway, next to the Sea of Galilee. Or another poor animal, okay, and then it was crushed the olives, and also mix it together, because all the oil, the drops of oil get together and get bigger. Okay, this is to prepare it to the second level, and we can come over there and see it of this piece. But imagine yourself like two big logs of wood and a giant screw on the top, and they could screw it like this. When it's flat, they put a kind of flat basket with all the crushed olives inside, and then it pressed. This is like the press. This is the press, okay, and then a mix of water and oil goes together, okay, and then they could put it in like a big jugs. Okay, so then after a few hours or a few days, the oil is floating over the water, so they could scoop the oil on top of the water. The water is waste; they threw it away. But mostly, if you ask, it's about 15 to 20 top percent of oil out of the whole mix.
Thank you for watching.